Hi friends, thanks for joining me. My name is Ariel. We're going to go through about 20 minutes of some very gentle yoga. We will stay seated the entire time, and almost certainly you don't need any props, but if you'd like to have some available just in case, of course, maybe hit pause on this video, grab some and come on back. We'll start with a very, very short, super brief, very short meditation. Find a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. My legs kind of all folded up like this is comfortable for me. You can have your legs extended off to the side. You can lean against something. You can even sit in a piece of furniture if you'd prefer. Getting to a place where you're comfortable enough. Palms down or palms open. I see kitty fuzzy hair all over me. Great way to start a practice. You can either soften the gaze or close the eyes. The option of taking a few big cycles of breath here. Sighing it out if you'd like. You can flutter the lips if you want. Sometimes sort of an exasperated sigh. It feels nice. As you're getting settled here, the goal really is to, for today, for this little mini meditation, to create a distinct change between whatever you were doing before and what you're doing right now. So maybe that happens through a couple cycles of breath, maybe sitting here and simply deciding, okay, this is a different moment in my day. I'm going to sit here, focus on my practice. Maybe you're letting your attention wander through your body, noticing how the body is feeling today. Are you stiff or sore? Do you feel good? Is anything lingering mentally, emotionally for you? There's no right answer. There's no way that you should answer. You just want to be curious. Be very curious about how you are right now. Maybe we'll take one more cycle of breath here. Oh, when you're ready, very gently either refocusing the gaze, fluttering the eyes open, coming back to the space. I'll try to verbally explain this enough that if you'd like to look away from the screen or you'd like to keep your eyes closed, you're welcome to. Very simple. We're going to inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, take the arms back down. Now, adjust the shape and the size of this to fit whatever feels comfortable in your body. So if having straight arms doesn't feel good, you can have as much bend in the elbows as you'd like. You can also keep this very close to the body. You don't even have to really raise the hands. You can do this with one arm if you'd like. And always the option to simply imagine yourself doing this pose. So maybe you're just sitting here thinking, okay, inhaling, I'm taking my arms up overhead. Exhaling, letting the arms come down. We will, over the course of the next few days, we'll learn the basics. I'm trying to think, how much can we learn in 5 days? We'll learn the basics of making poses comfortable in your body and learning how to do that. All right, inhale, keep the arms up overhead. We're going to turn this into a side bend. So take your palm or forearm, probably your palm, to the floor next to you. And then we're gonna reach up and over with that other hand. Now, again, you're making this fit your body. So if this is no good for you, you can keep it here. You can keep a hand on your hip. If you'd like, remove the arm entirely and simply lean over to the side. If it is accessible to have the arm up and it feels okay for you here, if you'd like to deepen this stretch, you can really reach with that top arm. Now, with this bottom hand, take a big inhale. Well, inhale with your lungs. Exhale, push off with that bottom hand. We're coming back to center. Here we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So probably you're different from left to right, so your shape almost certainly will look at least a little bit different than the other side. But again, option to take out that arm if you don't want it, option to really reach, anything in between. Lovely. Inhale, we're gonna push off that bottom hand to come back up, and we're gonna do some twists, very mild. Inhale, sitting nice and tall. As you exhale, twist with your upper half. Now, this is where my muscles stop, so I'm gonna drop my hands. I've crossed one hand over my body just to encourage that stretch a little bit. My backhand there's virtually no weight in it. It's sitting here behind me. If this shape is a little tight, a little intense, maybe there's room, no room, extra room, whatever your body anatomy is. If you'd like to lean back on that hand, you're of course more than welcome to. But very, very, very mild stretch here. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come back to center, arms come up overhead. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Exhale, twisting. When you stop moving, drop your hands. So I said I've got my arm over my body here, but that's because my body is accepting of that. If for whatever reason that doesn't work for your body, you can keep your arm to the same leg. You can have it somewhere in front of you. Does not have to cross the body. We'll take 2 cycles of breath here. Inhaling. Exhale. Being curious, maybe you need to adjust your body movements, your shapes, the depth of these poses as we're sitting in them. Good. Inhale, take the arms back up overhead. Exhale, release the hands. We're gonna move into our next section here. Let me check my notes very quickly. Lovely. We're gonna come over onto hands and knees. So I lied. I did say that we were going to sit the whole time, but here we are in tabletop. Now, some options for you here. If your wrists are over it already, you can come up onto fists. You can also, I'll give you an option to sit way back on your heels, maybe with the option of taking like a pillow or a block or something to sit there. And you can still have the hands down, but have your weight out of your wrists. So we're gonna do what's called cat-cow. Your elbows are soft, right? No hyperextending in the joints. We're going to inhale, drop your belly, and let the chest and head come up a little bit. Now you're gonna exhale and do the opposite of whatever your shape looks like right now. So the opposite for me is my spine is curved. I've dropped my heads. I'm sort of pulling my shoulder blades more forward down towards the mat to create an arch in my spine. When I'm ready for the next inhale, I'll go back to that first one where there's let's call it a scoop and an arch in the spine. So the spine is scooped. Exhale, arch. Making the change of shape here as big or as small as feels comfortable in your body. And again, of course, if you are leaning back so there's very little weight in your wrists, it's a little more challenging to make that movement here, but you can still make a sort of cat-cow here with no weight in the wrist. Good, let's do one more cycle here and we'll move into our next pose. Beautiful. We're going to come into what's called child's pose. So I'll explain how it fits in my body, and then I'll tell you how you can make it fit in yours. So I'll give you a couple options here. So for me, I take my toes together, knees sort of kind of as wide as the mat. My hips do reach my heels, but that is simply my body anatomy. So if that's not an option for you, don't worry about it. You can even take a pillow, a cushion, something there if you'd like. And then I just work my upper half as far towards the floor as feels good. Some days I get my forehead all the way down and that feels good. Some days I like to rest on my elbows and have a unique version of this shape. If you're really, really, really feeling it in your hips, maybe create a little more space. Maybe take a pillow under the chest. You want to double check that your elbows are not hyperextended here. Taking a few breaths. If it's uncomfortable, if your belly is touching your thighs, can you create a little more space between the legs? Maybe. If not, bring up the torso, so create a little support under the chest so you have a little room to lift your weight up a little bit. We'll take just 2 more cycles of breath here. Good. Ever so gently, when you're ready, work yourself back up into a tabletop. We'll come back to seated. We've got one more pose. Then we'll do you think that first meditation was brief. This is going to be a brief meditation to finish. So we're going to come into butterfly pose. Take the bottoms of the feet together. That's a vague suggestion. If together doesn't work for you, don't bring them together. The knees will open up to the side. If this already you're really feeling it, you can take some sort of support underneath the knees. You can use something like a block, a book, a pillow, a pet, a child, to create a little support there. If it's comfortable to let gravity pull on the legs, great. So your upper half now looks however is comfortable. The whole rest of your body really, it doesn't matter. I like to hold on to my shin so that I can use a little muscular engagement in my arms to encourage myself forward. That's totally optional. If you'd like to lean back, you can definitely do that. That should take some of the sensation out of it. Maybe you'd like to grab a prop and build something for yourself to rest forward on. That's an option too. Maybe you try all of those things quickly, going through them at super speed just to see how they fit in your body. Maybe you just want to sit and take a handful of big breaths. That's good too. And we'll take a few more seconds here so you can really think about, how does this feel? Where do you feel it? What does it feel like? Lovely. Wonderful job. Let's come into whatever position you'd like. I'm going to stay seated. You can come to lying on your back if you'd like. Again, this is going to be like 60 seconds, so this will be very brief. So if laying down is too much work for 60 seconds, don't do it. Palms down or open, gaze soft or eyes closed. Let's take a cycle of breath here together. Letting the mind wander through the body. What do you feel now? What do you notice right away that's different, if anything? Maybe a moment of gratitude for yourself, for finding your way onto your mat today. Maybe a commitment to join me here again tomorrow for our next class. And when you're ready, refocusing the gaze, fluttering the eyes open. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know this class moved very quickly. I promise that over the next couple of days, it'll be more relaxed. You'll start to build on these ideas that we're working on, and it will be a little less chaotic if it was chaotic for you today. Hopefully not. Probably yes. It usually is with me. Thank you for sharing your practice. I'm super, super, super excited for the next few days, and I will talk to you soon.